Welcome back to the program, everybody. Welcome back to another show. Welcome back to another episode. Good morning or good afternoon to all of my viewers, listeners, and Soul Tribe family. The name of this program is called It's a Conspiracy, But It Ain't No Theory. It's a Conspiracy, But It Ain't No Theory is a nonprofit social service agency suicide prevention campaign servicing the needs of families and foster children at risk. Lending my voice to help raise awareness by soft publishing a book trilogy called Lucy's Lair. Lucy's Lair is a graphic novel based on true events following my life as a freelance artist. This program is intended to help encourage, heal, and empower survivors of cancel culture and rape culture, providing free information and evidence regarding child abuse, sexual assault, domestic violence, electronic harassment, gang-stalking, conspiracy, and true organized hate crimes against humanity, collective and covert. Your company can help by providing funds in a grant or by donating goods and services as I continue delivering this information and evidence to the public and advocating for foster children in need. Thank you in advance for all of your support. On today's episode, I'm going to be discussing gang-stalking, hypersimulation theory, covert psychological operations, Black Ops Plus, surviving the New World Disorder per usual, surviving manufactured chaos, surviving manufactured karma spelled with a C, surviving white genocide, and surviving the electronic targeting Holocaust. My name is Adrienne Alese. I'm the author and creator of a book trilogy called Lucy's Lair, Part 1, 2, and now 3. Lucy's Lair is a book trilogy reflecting my life as a survivor of rape culture, child sex trafficking, and psychological gas chambers. On this program, I advocate for women's rights, basic human rights, and the rights of those disabled. I also advocate on behalf of the foster children in the CPS system, orphans, single mothers, foster mothers, and those less fortunate. Targeted individuals or trafficked victims are predominantly women. 65 to 70% of targeted individuals are white American women or those who identify as such. This makes gang stalking an illegal operation or hate crime that is sexually and politically motivated towards American women and their children. This program is a dedication to the targeted individual community. The objective of the opposition or the counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO 2.0, is to subvert all of the target's potentiality, to terminate and to punish all supporters and sympathizers, to round down the target's output and audience, to marginalize the target, to eliminate connections and networking ability. So in any case, these hoes that the FBI recruits, these peace operation hoes that flash their ass in yoga pants, they're completely worthless. Nobody wants them. So, completely worthless. So, they couldn't even get the job done the correct way. That's why he comes home every single day. That's not a world-changing ass. That's a fake ass. So, in any case, nobody's jealous. You need to stop lying, devil. So, it has to be able to do all of this covertly. And the FBI is able to recruit these insecure individuals. They are actually called flying monkeys. And this is the term that the psychologist will call it. So when the hoovering narcissist recruits flying monkeys to hoover for it, to stalk and spy, it's because it's insecure. It feels threatened. It does this because it's jealous and its safety is jeopardized. So it has a solid reason for feeling the way that it does. And so in any case, Chapter 18 is the 666 content that you all will end up having to watch pop up in your algorithm. So these are all the electronic harassment methods that are used. Everything, pretty much 90% of the content you see pop up in your algorithm is malware, and it needs to be reported as spam. And that includes your favorite YouTuber and your favorite YouTube influencer. Unfortunately, they use AI, and the AI is socially engineering. Social engineering is a crime against humanity. So, highly unfortunate. So, anyways, Chapter 18, overview of harassment methods used by FBI's COINTELPRO, Operation Gladio. Operation Gladio, like as in gladiator, covert community recruits and stay behind armies, or instruction manual for community gang stalkers. All right, so Chapter 18, Overview of Harassment Methods Used by FBI's COINTELPRO, Operation Gladio, Covert Community Recruits, and Stay Behind Armies, or Instruction Manual for Community Gang Stalkers. The fact that this says Stay Behind, it kind of reminds me of the Bible when they do this Left Behind, these movies of these so-called Left Behinds. It could be a cover story for that. That could be a cover story for this, excuse me. So, all right, so MK Ultra cover stories. This technology has interacted with quite a large amount of people. However, it is almost always misidentified as other sources. Voice to Skull V2K. Voice to Skull is a synthetic voice of God technology. By Omniscience, V2K, Voice to Skull, is described as a wireless form of electronic harassment and mental torture. Under this method, the perpetrators use low or high frequency voices and noises to harass an individual. It can also help the perpetrators to read the mind of the individual as well as track their movements. It is also used to manipulate the target's speech and emotions, steal their identity, and confuse them. Directed energy weapon cover stories. Directed energy weapon cover stories. Number 1, mental illness as an electronic harassment cover story.
As society does become more of a surveillance state, is it more difficult to distinguish people who have delusions and people who are actually telling the truth?
The question of truth or falsity can be a bit misleading, because do I know whether I'm being subject to surveillance? How would I know? And how would I judge that ultimately?
And so in this video that I provided for my YouTube channel, there's a clinical psychologist on here that is being interviewed by. They very well may both be using AI, and that's what this handbook talks about. That's what it describes. So before I get too far ahead of myself, I'm going to have to cover this and then come back. And so it forces the victim of this to have to share the significant other. The attention is always there. These hoes are constantly begging for attention. Like, it doesn't take no for an answer, and that's why it is a rape culture. Every single one of these hoes played this same exact game with Jerron's cousin, and they are the reason why his cousin is no longer living. If you trust these things, they have the potential to lead you right off the cliff into your own death, and then they will plant a fake suicide letter in your pocket after they murder you in a hit-and-run car accident. And unfortunately, the investigators will go ahead and call that a suicide, and it was not a suicide. All right, so let's try to get to the bottom of it here. So all of this synthetic voice of God technology, it's all being done using the technological device. It's impossible to do this otherwise. And obviously, not just using tech devices, but also community recruits. And so there's all of this fake stuff going on. Every single thing is fake in the algorithms on the television as well. The media and the movies are used to simulate schizophrenic hallucinations, so it's mimicking a schizophrenic misdiagnosis. It's medical malfeasance. So in any case, it's constantly begging for his attention. It wants what's mine so bad. It's pathetic. It goes home and it sucks its daddy's cock. That's how fucking disgusting it is. I mean, look at how desperate it is for my husband's attention. Obviously, that is the making. It doesn't take no for an answer. It's a rapist. It's a female groomer because it just got finished sucking its own dad's dick. That's what they do. Everybody in the Illuminati was raped by their fathers. Everybody knows that. So that's why these hoes are so turned and burnt and sold out for anal, because it was groomed and molested and raped by its own father. So number 2 is going to be the in-game technology packaged under persuasive, quote, spiritual warfare illusions. That is pretty much everything the end times that the Bible talks about. Number 3 is directed energy interaction packaged as the supernatural. 4, government technology under a cosmic being facade, religious themed illusions. 5, 6, using religion mythology as a means for cover stories. 7, extraterrestrial contact as a psychological operation cover story. Alien love bite interference. Number 8, ghosts as a cover story. Number 9, AI orchestrated phantom illusions to simulate and mimic schizophrenic hallucinations. Number 10, endgame technology as a sorcery cover story. Number 11, endgame technology as the real source behind effective voodoo. Number 12, witchcraft as a directed energy cover story. Number 13, black project science under a black magic cover story. That's what's currently going on. And the mental illness is the cover story, of course. That was number 1. Number 14, directed energy attacks deceptively packaged as physiological ailments. Number 15, synthetic signals in the brain from implants framed as physiological ailments. Number 16, a psychic attack as a directed energy attack cover story. Number 17, spiritual attack as a directed energy attack cover story. Number 18, new age cover stories, an example, disembodied spirit illusions like the transgender movement or fake ass implants. Number 19, old age mythological gods used as a cover story. 20, human-based electronic harassment with aliens packaged as the perpetrators. Number 21, Number 21, Scientology methods as a cover story for technological remote influence. 22, exotic neural body illusions, an example, chakra entity attachments, ethereal implants. Number 23, interdimensional beings interaction as an electronic targeting cover story. So, as in the aliens, they come in peace, get it? They're peace operations. They're sexually harassing. They're controlling him. This is a rape culture. Beings impersonated. Neighbors, targeted individual V2K. Black op agents, targeted individual V2K. Family and friends, targeted individual V2K. The black op agents are the electronic corpse that you will see pop up first in the algorithm. Unfortunately, our voices are smothered by this oppressive, nefarious criminal syndicate. Family and friends, targeted individual V2K. Deceased loved ones, deceased relative, deceased pets, psyops, V2K, demons, mind control cover story, jinn cover stories, archons cover stories, interdimensional being, new age psyops, extraterrestrials as a cover story for the psychological operation and the sexual harassment. Highly unfortunate. Cosmic being impersonation programs, ufology bastardization. This is all a cover story for sexual harassment, sexual exploitation, and black web abuse, entity attachment, new age psyops, shadow beings, an example to cause fear from an obscure source, archangels to impersonate a higher authority, Lucifer to persuade into evil, Satan, Satanists for the same obvious reason, to groom into doing evil. Raw, new age psyop, psychological operations, so things such as Rihanna's music, torture, BDSM, stuff along that line. Spirits, spiritual warfare illusions, ghosts, phantoms, directed energy trickery. Fairies, rehashed old age cover stories. Higher self, a mind control cover story. Panpsychism based impersonations as a cover story. An example, Gaia, also known as Mother Earth, speaking to people like you see on Gaia. Saints and Mother Mary, religious impersonations as a psychological operation cover story. Holy Spirit, psychological direction method, sleeper assassin method as a psychological operation cover story. Ascended masters, impersonation of a higher power. Jesus, any vector of vulnerability is exploited. Persons of note, an example, to get a target to murder them. 2, quote, psychologically direct. Any mythological god of the past, God Allah, Yahweh, Jehovah, impersonation of the highest power. This is all done via electronic telepathy contact, also known as voice to skull. Directed energy weapons operate invisibly, while the inducible mental limits of directed energy weapons are the limits of consciousness itself. This makes for an incredibly potent environment for illusions of all types. Neuroweaponry and artificial intelligence. The point of the program is to have the maximum psychological effect and leave the minimal amount of evidence. Exploitation of illusory explanations to conceal directed energy crimes. People who have already assimilated the cover stories are often not ready to hear the truth. Sorry, Dr. Prophet. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to call you out on your bullshit. Evidently. Again.